Welcome guys to another Paragon video. Today I'm going to break down the footage from the Alpha Online Test 2 released by Epic to give you an in-depth guide of the deck builder. Please remember that my analysis is based off what Epic have showed me and therefore everything is pure speculation until Epic get rid of that fucking NDA. So let's jump right into it. We see you have the ability to create numerous decks and it doesn't look like there's currently any limit, which is good for all those Hearthstone fans. I know you've been complaining of that 9 deck limit, which is fucking bollocks. The new decker suggests that this deck is specifically for the hero decker and that somewhere you get to select which hero you're making the deck for. I'd assume this happens after clicking new deck as that makes the most sense. We then get a look at actually customizing our own deck. We have 4 options: all, Prime Helix, equipment and upgrade. I'll run through these briefly and then we'll have a look at the actual cards more in depth. All. Well, that's obviously all the cards available. Judging from these 3 cards, I'd assume that Prime Helix are more powerful cards that you can acquire at a later stage of the game, maybe when you reach the final level or unlock some timed event, because they seem like a lot more powerful than the other cards, and I wouldn't expect them to last for a long time because they seem quite overpowered. You can imagine if each player had their own Prime Helix on your team, it'd be ridiculous, especially if they stack. One thing that a lot of people might have missed is the fact that there are 5 pages, and if we go by this page, it should indicate that there are 60 cards to pick from. This might not seem a lot, but when you're making a deck of 40 cards, you're only leaving out 20 cards. I'm not sure this is the right way to be going about this whole card system. However, I do expect them to be adding more cards as the alpha progresses, so I'm not too worried about this feature in particular. Taking a look at the actual cards themselves, the number in the top left could indicate the cost of the card in the game. However, the Prime Helix card shows a 0, so I could be completely wrong. Or it might not be able to fit the digits because I expect the Prime Helix to cost 10, and you'll understand more about the cost as we get further into the video. We also have what I can only assume are image placeholders, but more interestingly, we have what type of role each card is: damage, support, tank, and an image that shows towers. Or it could be a camp where you place these specific rigs at the camp and then it harvests amber for you. Below some of the cards we also have 3 white squares. This is probably where the upgrades go. So far we know that each card can only be upgraded a maximum of 3 times. Let's take a quick look at the Prime Helix cards since they seem to be the most powerful ones in the game. First up is the Archmage, providing you with 75.8 energy damage rating, 100% damage bonus versus structures, and a unique aura, which I'm not sure how you activate this, but it provides 300% damage versus structures to minions, which means minions do 300% more damage to structures. Next up is Centurion, which looks perfect for a tank hero, plus 1750 health, plus 100% damage bonus versus structures, same as the Archmage, with a unique aura of plus 500 max health to minions. Looks like a really nice card. Giving those minions all that extra health means they'll be able to push lanes a lot better versus the enemy minions. And the final Prime Helix card to be revealed is the Warlord, plus 75.8 physical damage, a possible bug because plus 0% damage bonus versus structures, followed by the exact same stat with 100%, and a unique aura, plus 100% damage versus minions to minions, which, like the other card, is going to really give your minions a real boost in pushing lanes. 100% damage increase is crazy. It's important to note that when the devs showed us this footage, they were constructing a deck for Decker, so the Prime Helix cards here are probably different for each hero. These 3 are probably unique to Decker. Next we have equipment, which the Paragon devs say is the meat of your deck. Agharon Scepter shows that we get an increase of 7.6 energy damage rating, but when you compare that to the Archmage card, you can tell just how powerful the Prime Helix cards are meant to be. What is also interesting here is the use of the word max. I assume that you would get the 50% increase in critical damage bonus when you fully upgrade this card. We finally get to know what a rig is. If you've seen my last video, you know it was somewhat of a mystery to me, but from Harvester's Key, we know that the rig is used to begin harvesting something, possibly amber, which is also dropped by enemy minions, enemy towers, and enemy heroes. If you don't know, amber is like currency in Paragon. Once you have enough, it's exchanged into card points, which you can use to purchase cards or upgrade them. I'm not sure the difference between Harvester's Key and Brawler's Key because they both have the same description, but one probably harvests faster than the other. Moving on to upgrades, these look like you just add them onto other cards where there's 3 white squares, which potentially indicates that you could upgrade those cards. We didn't get a look at the description of all these cards, but here's what I managed to find out. Cast provides an increase of 15.2 energy damage rating. Chrono reduces your cooldowns by 5%. Barrier provides a 44 increase in energy resistance rating, although the number is really difficult to make out, so that's just a guess. Minor Guard increases your physical resistance rating by 22, and Lesser Health increases your max health by 175. Some of you may be confused about energy damage and physical and energy resistance rating. Well, allow me to give you a brief breakdown. Each hero does one type of damage, energy or physical. If your hero does energy damage, you primarily want to focus on that. Same with if your hero does physical damage. Now, if you're a tank hero and you're going up against mostly heroes doing energy damage, it makes sense to increase your energy resistance rating. The same applies if you're going up against heroes doing physical damage. You want to focus on that physical resistance rating. The devs also bless us with the look at filter. Here we get a clear breakdown of all the stats that you can change about your character. If you checked out my video on the Paragon heroes, or as previously mentioned, you know that each hero character either does energy damage or physical damage. So if you want to boost your damage, you need to pick the right one. Filtering this makes it a lot easier. Physical and energy rating is most likely the damage increase, while physical armor pierce and energy armor pierce and shield pierce probably provide you with more armor piercing damage for characters a lot tankier like steel. Attack speed is pretty self-explanatory, same with critical strike chance and critical strike damage. I'm not too sure about cleave. The defense stats seem to be pretty self-explanatory apart from perseverance. This, by my guess, would increase the toughness of your character, although again, I'm not too sure since I haven't had the chance to see any cards that increase perseverance. Like the defense stats, utility seems self-explanatory as well, so I'm going to move over to something very interesting, the cost. We see that the costs are divided into 3 categories: early game, mid game, and late game. The costs that they are referring to here are the amount of points it takes to purchase this card while in game. I expect the Prime Helix cards to cost near 8 to 10 points, while upgrading cards cost between 1 to 3. It's also important to note that when the devs selected upgrades for a specific card, we see the card type highlighted in blue, and the top right of the card is now yellow. I have no clue what this indicates, but it's something to keep an eye out for in future videos. This video was pretty long and an in-depth guide of the deck builder mode in Paragon. I did my best to explain everything to you guys with the limited knowledge I possess. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up, comment and subscribe. It lets me know that you guys want more of these videos. If you haven't already, check out alpha gameplay from the online test 2 here, and I'll see you guys next time.